The Adirondack Bank Center gets set for another MASL 2 matchup as United Elite Krajisnik FC returns to action after 3 weeks off to take on the Baltimore Arsenal. Hello, everyone, and welcome into the booth. I'm Arnav Pokhrel. I'm joined alongside Greg Fanning. And Greg, the last 2 games for Krajisnik have been 2 losses, and they haven't looked pretty against the best team in the East, Rochester. They're 5-0-0. They're sitting atop the East Division. But now you get Baltimore, 1-2, third in the division. How important is this match for Krajisnik looking ahead to that playoff standings?
Well, this this series is going to be huge for Krajisnik because we started off the year splitting this series. Opened up our season with a victory. We lost the second game, but this this is the playoff push. You have Baltimore coming in for 2 games. Then you have Orlando coming in for 2 games. You have the 2 teams that are in the bottom of the division coming in, and you got to take advantage of this. So this is where the playoff push comes. You do not want to walk into Rochester needing to sweep Rochester because that ain't going to happen.
Rochester's still atop. They're undefeated. And Krajisnik now, final 6 games of the season. So far, 2-4, those 2 losses, 1 to Orlando and 1 to Baltimore. Would you say it's been a disappointment so far for this team? You have such high expectations and a really good team that you bring in, and so far falling flat a little bit, dealing with injuries and whatnot, but it just feels like this team has a lot of potential, just hasn't gotten there yet.
This team has a tremendous amount of potential. There is a tremendous amount of skill that this team has. What we are experiencing are what we call growing pains. A team, you can't just take a group of players, throw them out on the field, and think that they're automatically going to gel. And that's what we're working with right now, between the injuries, between the gaps within the schedule as well. You get started, you get into your motion, you get into your routines, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're going to take 3 weeks off. So they have a lot of things that are causing an uphill battle here, but they have proven that they have the bounce back, they have the skill set, and if they can get into a rhythm, and maybe it's over these next 4 games, they get into that rhythm, well, then you become a steamroller, and then they go into Rochester. So it'll be interesting to see, but it far from a disappointment, but we do hope to see them pick up where they were before the last 2 weeks and start to take a hold of this division.
And you always come in with your 3 pitch points, Greg. I know we touched on one of them. It's been a while for this team and a lot of rest and a lot of relaxation. What does that mean for this team to get those 3 weeks off? You're able to train a lot more. You're able to get your unhealthy players back, those players who are dealing with injuries. I know Zach Gleesman's been a big one who's been out before. Getting those 3 weeks off, how big is that for this team going into this game?
Rest is sometimes the perfect prescription to right the ship. The other thing is winning. They always say winning heals all, right? Well, taking 3 weeks off, I know, the coaching staff gave the team a couple of days, said get away from the facility, get away from the field, go see family, go hang out. Some of the players went back to hometowns just to clear their mind, clear the cobwebs, and release any tension that they have. Then you return back to the stadium, you get back into your training routines and everything, and you start preparing for your next game. This is kind of like in any professional sport where you have, Super Bowl, World Series, World Cup. Both teams are preparing, all right? But the time away from the field to mentally calm yourself, sometimes it's worth its weight in gold.
And looking ahead to this Baltimore side, I mean, yes, they're struggling, 1-2 on the season, but that one win that they have is against Krajisnik in a game that really, it was a close game on the score sheet, but Baltimore just felt like they had an edge. How does Krajisnik come back in this one at home now in the Adirondack Bank Center and get an edge on Baltimore once again?
Need to always want to be leading that scoreboard. You don't want to get to a point where you guys score multiple points in a row on the pitch and hold off the counterattack from scoring. So they need to get up fast. They need to score goals quickly, and then they can control the pace. If you're going to control the field like Krajisnik has proven that they can do, then you got to finish. So as long as they can finish and they can control the pace, they should be able to handle Baltimore. But, we always said, I even said it to my youth teams this past weekend, you don't play down to your competition, you always play up. So hopefully they come in with that mindset that they're not going to play down to their competition, because if they do that, this may be a very difficult day.
The one player who you just saw on your screen, goalkeeper Julian Rodriguez, coming down to join Krajisnik from UCFC. He's in the back there, the black sides, the blonde mohawk on his head. I mean, he's a good ball player. He comes from UCFC, has played a lot of futsal in his time, played for New York, Ecuador FC as well. Just an all-around athletic goalkeeper. I remember earlier this season, he made a save against Tacoma with his face. He's fearless. He took that one and got knocked out a little bit. He was on the ground for a couple of minutes after that, but it's good to see him back for this Krajisnik side. As they get set to walk out here, we'll take a quick step aside. When we come back, it's national anthems, lineups, and we'll have kickoff right here at the Adirondack Bank Center. United Elite Krajisnik FC, Baltimore Arsenal, and MASL 2 action. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MASL Soccer.
And now, put your hands together as we bring your United to the field. Here they are, your United. Number 1, Julian Rodriguez. Number 2, David Wright. Number 3, Dragan Janakovic. Number 4, Abduli. Number 5, Magi Yazatse. Number 6, Jamie
Back inside the Adirondack Bank Center as we get set for United Elite Krajisnik FC and Baltimore Arsenal. Krajisnik come into the game 2-4 on the season on a 2-game losing streak. Head coaches Bogdan Jacic and Dragan Svetkovic also playing in the game. Assistant coach Jason Palkovic will be manning the bench for United Elite as he has done all season. On the other side, it's Tariq Walker and Kareem Mumban, the coaches for Arsenal, who are 1-2. Their last game just about a month ago, over a month ago, I should say, a 14-6 loss to the Rochester Lancers. Well, Rochester's beat everyone they've played, so you can't look into that matchup too much. The last time these two teams met was December 29th. It was a 5-4 victory for the Arsenal. Tyler Forbes continued to stay hot in that game. He had 2 goals, 1 assist, following up a opening day hat trick against Baltimore. So he in 2 games against Baltimore, he's got 6 points, 5 goals, 1 assist. He's looking to be a factor today as well for Krajisnik.
Yeah, absolutely. And this team, I watched them come out of the entrance here a little bit, and they seem to be, like all hands on deck. They have a business-only swagger today. Great to see the youth players from Krajisnik also walking out with them. But this is, this has a different feeling. You look at where they are right now. They're all together. They're doing their last minute moments and their comments and their last minute notes. There is a very big level of seriousness going on right now on the field.
And Krajisnik, not just an indoor team. They have UPSL tryouts just a couple of weeks ago, but also this weekend was a big deal in terms of a tournament. Greg, I know you were busy all weekend with that tournament. Tell us a little bit about what it was and how you think it went.
Well, I want to extend congratulations and appreciation to all the teams from near and far that participated in our 4th annual President's Cup tournament event over at Elevate CNY, powered by ICANN. We had 2 full days of soccer competition from U10 divisions all the way up through U16 high school divisions. I'm going to apologize for my scratchy voice. I coached somewhere near 20 games and helped out with other events and things. Great event, and I mean we had teams from Rotterdam, Watertown, all over. So just a very good stretch of soccer.
Baltimore with the opening kick, but immediately Krajisnik winning possession. It's Almazan who bursts forward for the home side. Ricky Orozco loses out on possession, and Baltimore can regain and move forward. The Arsenal with possession, moving up ahead to Cameron Dawson. Dawson with 3 games played on the season. There's a save from Julian Rodriguez getting involved early, and the second rebound goes well over the net. Well, that's Rodriguez. We mentioned him in the pregame, coming down from UCFC. An injury to Davion Bailey means that he had to step in so that Krajisnik could hit that 2-goalkeeper mark. Got to have a starter, got to have a backup. And if both of them get hurt, well, you've got the extra player jersey that you can continue to throw on anyone else you need to. As here is Rodriguez moving forward into the attacking zone. Calling for help. The net is empty, so Krajisnik have to hold on to possession. They will. And an over and back called as the referee blows the whistle.
Krajisnik coming out with high press, extreme high press, taking a goaltender, adding them as an additional attacker.
That's something that Rodriguez can do, playing in the futsal game for so long. He's used to those tight spaces. The arena space actually gives him more room to work with. So Rodriguez, when he's got the ball at his feet, you can trust him to do what's right, as superstructure violation means that Krajisnik can set up right on the yellow line. It's Svetkovic down low. It's deflected away from the goal. And then eventually Alejandro Sosa dives on it. Sosa's 1 for 2 on the season. He's the only goalkeeper listed on the Arsenal roster. He's allowed 25 goals, made 40 saves, a save percentage of 62.5 on the season. Michael Bernstein goes diagonal long ball style, and Arsenal win possession, but Krajisnik with some good defense to stand tall. Now United Elite can move forward. Sitting up on the near side, it's Ricky Orozco. Orozco goes across the field and eventually works all the way back before Krajisnik send it diagonal. headed on, but it's right into the path. Doni Bogdanovic, a new signing for Krajisnik. A lot of injuries as of late for this home side, so had to bring in some players and getting the job done early on, getting an early chance on Sosa in the Baltimore net. Watson moves forward for the Arsenal. That's Ethan Watson, the forward. Before it's tapped back by Joe Safoy. Safoy's got the captain's armband on today for the Arsenal. Safoy up ahead again.
Right now, neither of these teams really are doing much within the middle of the field. A lot of stuff along the boards and a lot of long ball as well. They are carrying two lines and sometimes dangerously coming to that three-line penalty. But they're carrying everything. Both teams are carrying everything on the along the wide portions and the wide lanes of the field.
Foul called on Axel Lomeli right outside of the defensive third for Baltimore. So Krajisnik will have to get back on defense as a turnover from Alhagi Joe. Now a chance to move forward. Millie Nagash over. Now it'll work back to Rafa Godoy. Godoy, another UCFC player coming down to play with Krajisnik. Finds Merker. Steve Merker's got a few good goals this season. The 45-year-old who just sits on that attacking line and moves quickly. Long throw out. Up ahead by Baltimore, but Krajisnik deal with it and move forward. Almazan. Over to Merker. There's a shot, and it's fired high and wide of the goal off the backboards. Millie Nagash wearing the number 99 jersey today. Loses possession. It'll cycle all the way back to Dragan Svetkovic. We're 5 minutes in. Neither team really too dangerous of a chance so far, but here's Svetkovic moving forward. There's a parry. Almazan was in front looking for the stop. And then Millie Nagash able to play it off of Michael Bernstein. Krajisnik will retain possession, but it hasn't been too dangerous from either side so far.
Not yet. But they are, when they are taking shots, a lot of power behind them. They're very hard shots, and what the opposition is looking for is a rebound play.
Julian Rodriguez gets taken out as he heads the ball forward. Contact to the knee of the goalkeeper. Just 4 minutes in, Rodriguez has already taken a shot as we see he's easily winning that header. Then the foot comes up of one of the Baltimore strikers and lands right on that knee. Good to see Rodriguez up and moving as he throws it long. It finds Forbes. Forbes has 5 goals against Baltimore this season. Forces a save out of Sosa with the left hand. Svetkovic tosses his man into the boards and a whistle blows. Baltimore wants a card. So player remains down for the Arsenal.
That was very close to the boards. Came right up, playing for the ball. But the Baltimore player went right into the boards, coming off of a hip check and a hip swing.
It'll be Arsenal possession. They'll move it forward. Working ahead, it's Eric Laurent. Laurent takes a couple of touches. He'll pass it back. Bernstein. Down to the corner. Finds Dawson. Cameron Dawson looking for the pass back to recycle possession. Doesn't get it, but he retains possession, trying to dribble through a couple of defenders. Can't do it, and the Arsenal will have to take it back and recycle. Bernstein anchoring this defense for the Arsenal. On the season, 3 games played. He's picked up 4 fouls as Rodriguez comes out to collect the ball and work it quickly to the outside. Long diagonal pass from Krajisnik looking down low to Orozco. Can't find him.
That's the danger with playing long ball. Is sometimes it turns into immediate takeovers, or turnovers rather. And when you have those turnovers repeatedly going back to the other team, never gives you an opportunity to generate any offense or generate any flow within the game.
Whistle blows and another turnover, this time on The Arsenal work down low. Contact, and Rodriguez forced to just tap it out of play. Then a long drilled effort looking for the corner again. Krajisnik deal with it. 6 minutes in, no score between Baltimore and United Elite Krajisnik FC here at the Adirondack Bank Center. Both teams losing their last games that they played. Krajisnik on a 2-game losing streak. There's a tackle, late tackle on Zach Gleesman. Down goes Gleesman.
Well, that was the first tactical movement within the offensive zone, in the attacking zone with a cross that came through the box. Now Krajisnik coming out, utilizing that same start that they did with the goaltender coming out. Not as deep as the beginning of the game, but he did come out, made 3 across the back, trying to generate some movement.
Merker tried to drop it with a little backheel to Rafa Godoy. Couldn't find his Utica City FC teammate. And instead, Gleesman will go down to the corner again. Merker battling, and he'll win it. Steve Merker off the boards to Almazan. Almazan dribbles into the attacking zone. Left-footed effort. It's wide right and off the end boards. But Almazan working free. He's really the creative spark in this United Elite Krajisnik team, and he showed it there.
He's been the firecracker in the box for sure.
Godoy. Rafa Godoy back to Merker at the back post, who just missed the tap-in. Well, Krajisnik's right there. Crossfield pass to Godoy. Bouncing up for him, and he'll settle it down. Works it in, and a back outside to Nagash. Millie Nagash's pass to the corner, read well by the Arsenal, who look to counter quickly. Giving chase is Dawson. Rodriguez is stuck on the line, and he keeps the ball in the zone to hold on to it. Almazan. Godoy, Rodriguez. Rodriguez off the boards.
Krajisnik so far with the best scoring opportunities in this last push down the field. They had the best offensive scoring opportunities. Baltimore is still trying to feel their way of getting things going.
There's Nagash, and there's a goal for Krajisnik. Back to front play, and the home team lead 1-0. 8 minutes in to the first quarter.
So Krajisnik came down the field, and they utilized the same type of setup that they did that last offensive push that we were talking about. And once you start crossing the field, windows open up, came across, and he was able to bury it in the back. Goaltender was moving one way, fell back the other way to try to make the save. Ball went underneath him. Nothing
that Alejandro Sosa could do about that one, as Millie Nagash scores his first goal of the 2023-24 season. And just his second shot of the season as well. He doesn't get forward too much, Nagash. Even though he's listed as a forward, he drops back into that midfield a lot, helping out Forbes and helping out Merker up top. But Nagash scores, and we're headed to immediate timeout. But we'll keep it right here because it's only 1-0, Greg. Positive for Krajisnik to get that first goal. Like you said, you don't want to play from behind, especially against a Baltimore team that's already had your number once. How big was that moment for Millie Nagash?
Don't play from behind. Make sure that you start getting that energy built up and the momentum going forward. But here's the other thing. They were off for 3 weeks. So there's that rest and relaxation, clearing your mind, getting into that mental capacity of being able to just shed off everything that has taken place over the previous 2 games and reset and get going. So that kind of, that just might give them a little adrenaline push. And it might be that might be the key to opening up the door to success today.
The players return from the media timeout. United Elite Krajisnik leading 1-0 over the Baltimore Arsenal, and immediately think about how are the Arsenal going to respond. That first match, they didn't respond too well in that first quarter. They got it back eventually in the second and third quarter, but if you're Krajisnik, this is really the time to put your foot on the gas and put a couple more in and really start to demoralize this Krajisnik team, just like Rochester did 3 weeks ago. That was a game Krajisnik led 5-2 at one point in the third quarter before 7 straight goals for Rochester turned the game in favor of the away side.
Yeah, Krajisnik had that game in control. They were driving the bus, and then the wheels just fell off. And it was mostly because Rochester came out from halftime and made systematic changes, and those changes reaped benefits immediately.
Rodriguez rolls it out. Up ahead, looking for Kevino Caceres. Sliding challenge in. And it works out. Here's Jalea Moore. He'll pass it back. Now forward again from Krajisnik. The Arsenal regained possession, but immediately it's a tackle from Caceres. And Svetkovic will drive forward. Off the backboard, and Alejandro Sosa comes out to collect.
What's kind of interesting is typically when you have a goal, the opposing team that just got scored on, there is a wild rush of energy in a counterattack to try and get that goal back real fast. We're not seeing that. We're not seeing that from Baltimore right now. So maybe this is tactical, or maybe this is just, another game that they get down 1-0. And this is the way that their season has gone, and it starts to wear on people.
Kofi Forkua looking up ahead to Eric Laurent, but it works back to Forkua. Cameron Schnack over to Forkua, and it's Redwell. Cut in by Svetkovic, who's got energy to move forward. It's been a long shift for Dragan Svetkovic, but he's able to intercept the pass, and he'll work it over to Gleesman. Gleesman rolls to the middle, outside of the foot pass to the right side. Off the wall, Gleesman's in the middle, but he passes it back to Merker. They'll do it again, and this time Arsenal step in the way. Cut out, Almazan rolls it, big save from Sosa, down to his left. Merker along the far side corner, rolls it in, first time, shot no good. Almazan will recover. Almazan goes off the boards, and that one clicked a lot higher than he wanted it as it catches the corner of the boards and goes up in the sky.
With all this time that they have had off, both teams can take advantage of running their players a little bit longer than they typically would if they're playing week after week after week. So having Svetkovic out on the field for a little bit longer of a turn might be good.
Had an opportunity in the middle with Jalea Moore. Couldn't complete it. Here's Millie Nagash. Ahead to Forbes again. That's Ricky Orozco leaving it off. And Almazan recollecting. Back to Orozco. Krajisnik content to pass around the back, get some changes in the defense. David Wright comes on for Orozco. Down goes Forbes in the corner. Rolls it out. And here's an opportunity. Long-range effort from Rafa Godoy. Couldn't find the back of the net. The ball bounces up and into the bench of Krajisnik, so it'll be a possession for the home side, United Elite.
That's the other thing. Krajisnik kept the ball down in the offensive zone for so long. They're able to make changes. Baltimore was stuck. So now you start to fatigue the other players from Baltimore as well.
Wright goes hard, and Sosa gets down with his feet. Wright will head it back in. Godoy looking for the back heel. And a chance to break away. 3-on-3 the other way. Diagonal ball to the corner. Ball eventually works back and finds Bernstein. Bernstein into the corner. Alhagi Job loses it. Krajisnik recover, and a little bit loose around the back, but Rodriguez cleans up for the home side.
Baltimore is laying off these players. They're reading the field. They're looking for pass attempts and where they're going to come from, but not a lot of pressure down deep in the offensive zone right now.
Bernstein going long again. It's rolled back. Poor from Rodriguez as he had to clear it out with his feet. He couldn't pick it up, but he makes up for it. His defense getting in the way to deflect the shot. First real dangerous attempt for Baltimore. It came from a Krajisnik mistake.
Krajisnik just needs to play clean right now. They got 2 minutes left, and this is like their Achilles heel this year have been within the last two minutes of each of the quarters. You can't go and start making mistakes and playing sloppy. They have the lead right now. It would be great to put one in the back of the net before our break, but they need to play smart.
Moving forward, now Hagi Job, he leads this Baltimore team in scoring with 3 goals. Now back to Ethan Watson. Watson works around Godoy, and he'll burst forward with space. Rodriguez comes out and makes the save. Julian Rodriguez standing tall. He's been excellent so far. 4 saves for the netminder for the home side, Krajisnik. It's back to Eric Laurent. Laurent has it poked away. Axel Lamelli gives chase, but Laurent's able to wriggle away from him. Now down low to Fourcourt. 1 minute left in the first. Chance to break forward. Here's Gleesman, the defender. Doesn't really know what to do with the ball when he's all alone, so he'll track it back, wait for some changes, and Almazan gets on. Almazan goes looking for the diagonal ball. That was ambitious from Damon Almazan. And it couldn't connect.
And enabled Krajisnik to get a couple of fresh legs on the field from the bench. Get a line change for the last 30 seconds of this opening quarter of competition.
Out to Safoy. Under 20 to go in period number 1. As Krajisnik lead 1-0 thanks to a goal from Millie Nagash. A tap into the back post at the midway point of the first. Final few seconds. Krajisnik looking to just dribble this one out. Maybe get one final attempt forward. Instead, the horn will sound. And Krajisnik lead 1-0. Millie Nagash, his lone goal is the difference in this one. 7 shots on goal for Krajisnik in the first. 4 shots on goal for Baltimore. Julian Rodriguez has been excellent. As here's a look at the goal from Millie Nagash. The difference in this one so far. We're going to break down the first quarter. When we return, we're going to step aside right here on United Elite Krajisnik Football Club's YouTube channel. We'll be right back from the Adirondack Bank Center. Back at the Adirondack Bank Center, getting set for second quarter action between United Elite Krajisnik FC and the Baltimore Arsenal. Just a 1-goal lead for Krajisnik after the first. But, Greg, what do you think about that first quarter? How positive defensively, yes, but you want a little bit more offensively if you're Krajisnik, don't you?
Obviously, yeah. You want to you want to generate as much offense as you can, keep the ball down the opposition's end. I would categorize first quarter punch and counter punch. Krajisnik came out with the goal. but we're seeing a lull in between a big push for each sides. And we talked about it a little bit after the first goal by Nagash. There's typically that huge push of energy to try and get that goal back right away and a counterattack come through. We really didn't see that. We're seeing the ball being tactically played along the boards. But there's a whole lot of energy, and then everybody kind of calms down. So a little bit of punch, counter punch, and I'm sure that the coaches are taking a look at what adjustments need to be made to keep that energy going in between those holes.
Underway in period number 2. 15 minutes until the end of the first half, as immediately it's a chance for Almazan, who has his shot deflected high and wide. And Jalea Moore launches one. That's Jorge Lozada launching one. Well wide, and Baltimore will set up offensively. Kofi Forkua. Long ball up ahead. Looking for Joel Musa, couldn't find him. Instead, it's trapped in the corner by Jorge Lozada. Lozada goes down hard, and the whistle blows. Taken forward, Svetkovic.
Baltimore has showcased that they can build out of the back effectively to land those long passes that we were talking about earlier and find feet, what we call finding feet, making sure that you make the connection to your teammate. In that case, they were able to do it. They were able to do it in the first quarter as well. So let's see what the counterattack here and the counter punch is from Krajisnik as they build up in the offensive zone.
Ball's won back by the Arsenal. Alhagi Joe wins it back, and immediately going long, Rodriguez will let it roll into his hands. 90 seconds passed in quarter number 2. David Wright, the captain's armband for Krajisnik. Another one of the player coaches. He's been experienced. He's been around the block in the MASL. Spent some time with Rochester, the Empire Strikers. Gleesman able to work a pass out to Orozco. Back to Krajisnik on the far side.
Very calm, cool, and collected right now between both squads.
I was gonna say, hasn't looked panicked at all from either team, even
when they're neither one of them are panicking right now, and they're basically, each team is allowing the other one to do whatever they want on the field, and the shots have been coming long and hard, and they're still playing that rebound ball.
Ball finds Jalea Moore. Back to Rafa Godoy on the far side. Godoy, couple of step overs. He'll step in, lay it off to Amor. Amor holds up, goes back to Nagash. Works all the way around to Amor again. Good movement from Krajisnik in the attacking zone, and now the ball is held up in the corner. One back by Almazan. Almazan looking to create. He's turned it over. Breakaway opportunity for the Arsenal. Sprinting forward. Almazan does well to track back. Forces an uncomfortable pass. That's hustle there from Damon Almazan. Able to win the ball back for Krajisnik and stop that Baltimore counter.
You're going to make mistakes on the field. There's no doubt about it. But he recognized the situation that he put his team in and immediately rectified the problem.
Almazan off the boards. Crossfield pass across the face of the box from Jalea Moore. And now a long-range effort from Dougie Yanis. And it bounces wide. Another opportunity on the counter. Breaking forward. The shot. It's in the back of the net. Baltimore strike off of a miss from Krajisnik.
That rebound ball that they've been trying to utilize to generate their own offense came off that wall really, really hard. And unfortunately, they just weren't able to get back in time to disrupt. So we look at Almazan. He had the missed pass into the middle. He was able to get back and rush the players' shots. They were able to make that the players make mistakes because they were off on their timing. In the case of the Baltimore goal, that didn't take place, and they were able to get the shot off without any issues.
Chance to move forward again and rolling one off the boards. Alhagi Job. The Baltimore goal was scored by Jordan Travers in his second appearance of the season. His first point and first goal of the season as well. So coming up in a big-time moment there, Jordan Travers for Baltimore to tie things up between Krajisnik and the away side Arsenal. There's a shot. It's down and easily dealt with by Sosa. Caceres got in a good spot, fired one with his left foot. Pressure coming from Krajisnik a little bit higher up the pitch now. Turning up the intensity, trying to force a mistake out of Baltimore. Ball into the center. Dealt with by Jorge Lozada temporarily and now turned over. Travers again, long range effort. Deflected by Svetkovic. Svetkovic will come up with possession again. Ethan Watson was on the ground near Svetkovic. And here's Merker ahead for Krajisnik. Diagonal ball back to hold on to possession. Now up ahead again. Looking for Lamelli. Axel Lamelli was charging in, but good defensive stand. Gleesman long-range effort off the corner boards. And out of play by Baltimore, so it'll be Krajisnik ball. Baltimore going for a change. Gleesman immediately trying to take advantage of it. Tyler Forbes comes crashing in. Chance to break forward for the away side. Right along the midway line is Joel Musa getting it down to the corner.
Baltimore with a lot of speed on the field right now and making changes at will. Krajisnik coming back, leaving one player on top and then doing an umbrella defense on the back end to try and keep everything from the outside.
There's a shot. Hard along the boards. Rodriguez was out of his box. Had it covered, had it gone the way, but the rebound was where the danger really stood, and thankfully Krajisnik able to clear it away. And then on the ensuing near side challenge, drawing a foul, Gleesman will take it. It's ahead by Svetkovic. Back to Dragan Svetkovic, over to Almazan. Billy Nagash. Almazan holds on. Finds the middle. Looking to Forbes. Forbes with the left foot. He scores! Tyler Forbes and Krajisnik lead again. Well, he just loves the goal against Baltimore. That's goal number 6 of the season for Tyler Forbes against the Arsenal. And what a moment. You give up an equalizer, and Tyler Forbes says, thank you very much, and taps home another leading goal.
Yeah, so between Forbes and Nagash. So Nagash kind of started all of that. Nagash comes from the near boards to the broadcast booth, cuts through the Baltimore formation. When he did that, Baltimore started to get uneasy in their defensive end, and then just moving the ball around, a good centering pass, and they led the player and a good turn, and the ball's in the back of the net. So that disruption going through the formation for Baltimore really reaped benefits.
So Baltimore, a sense of urgency again after giving up goal number 2 to Krajisnik, and Tyler Forbes, who's been the leading goal scorer this season for United Elite, continuing to dominate. Good cut in, and a chance to rip a shot from Joe Safoy, blocked away by the Krajisnik defense. The rebound again, Safoy there, but some contact as Rodriguez holds on to the ball.
So that energy and that wave coming through of Baltimore trying to get that goal back, that's typical for what you would see. We have a boarding on the far side.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler Forbes got his legs taken out from under him. Surprised I didn't see a blue card there as Forbes went down hard along the boards.
Well, and you know that the Krajisnik bench is yelling and screaming about it too. They, I think that they concur with your assessment there that there should have been a blue card. That's a dangerous play. I mean, that's how ankles get broken, and come down hard on your head. You can have concussions. I mean, it's part of the game, but the refs have to be equal in calling it.
Rodriguez with a defensive header to get the ball away from Baltimore and a chance to break forward Lozada. Forbes looking for the one-timer. Instead, it's off the wall and out of play again with under 7 to go in the first half.
So Krajisnik is holding their own here. They let up the goal. They got it right back. They're doing what they need to do to get into that rhythm and control the pace of this game. And we'll see what happens with the second half of this quarter. We'll
step aside for immediate timeout. When we're back, the closing minutes of half number 1. Krajisnik lead 2-1 at the Adirondack Bank Center. Back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Closing minutes of half number 1 as it's a setup right on the edge of the box for Krajisnik after the ball went intentionally out of play by Baltimore. 3-man wall for the Arsenal. Rafa Godoy stands over it for Krajisnik. Alma's on to his left. Instead, he'll go to the left. Right with Lozada. Second chance opportunity. Thunderous strike from Godoy. But it was always rising and went over the bar.
Oh, and goalie was squatted down real low. He doesn't take that stance. That shot might have gone right in. He had a good call there.
Godoy launches it diagonally again. Forbes is getting there to the corner. And he's able to win the second ball. So Tyler Forbes does well to hold off Baltimore and win possession for Krajisnik. Down to Godoy. Rafa Godoy, great pass up ahead. But Forbes couldn't do anything with it. That's usually where Forbes excels. Back to goal, holding on to possession. Forbes is a player from Colgate University at the Division I level. Was a captain for that team his senior year.
Well, he possesses that ball. Enables everybody else to get into open space, and then he is able to dish it off into an open window to take shots, and he assumes open space as well. So it's a really good tactic when you're trying to rotate through either attacking zones or neutral zones.
Foul called on Krajisnik. That one's rung up on Dunny Bogdanovic. As Baltimore down by 1 with 5.5 to go in the first half. Diagonal ball to the corner. Gleesman giving chase for Krajisnik. He's able to work it out. Still in defensive zone, though. Rodriguez with some pressure, but nothing that he couldn't deal with as he rolls it out to his left. Now in the middle with Gleesman. He's pressured hard, and Rodriguez Pick it up. A foul called on Gleesman through the contact, which allows Krajisnik to get a few changes on. Back comes Merker, as well as Millie Nagash coming back on.
And how great is it to have Gleesman back on the field for this team? He anchors that defense. When we saw him playing over at the Nexus Center, it just took completely different feel to the game from when he got injured.
David Wright, and he's also pretty confident moving forward. He scored a goal this season in that game against Rochester.
Almost like a power defenseman, where you can either rely on him to anchor the backfield, or you can rely on him to be able to carry the ball up, get that opportunity to take the shot. And
he's from right nearby in Rome, New York. Played at Mohawk Valley Community College, so another Central New York standout. Plays for the UPSL side that's affiliated with United Elite Krajisnik FC. Krajisnik also stepping into the NISA world here soon in the summer.
Yes.
As there's a shot, and there's Gleesman again to block it away. David Wright can move forward, and there's a whistle. And Wright wanted that called immediately because he was going forward with tons of space in front of him.
A little bit of a delayed call by the referee on that. Ball going to Baltimore, switching possession and direction.
Diagonal ball off the top of the corner glass. Down to the corner with Joel Musa. It's up away on the other side with Safoy. Worked around. Here's Ethan Watson. Watson goes across to Cameron Schnack. Schnack up ahead. Rodriguez comes out and just slaps the ball away. Great work from Julian Rodriguez in this Krajisnik net today.
That's that capability that he has with his athleticism to be able to come out, read that play, and disrupt. The one thing everybody needs to remember: you don't have to just put somebody down on the turf on the pitch to make a play. Just the slightest bump, the slightest disruption within the rhythm can cause and wreak havoc. So being able to come over the top and just slap that ball away, the obvious event is that you don't have to worry about a shot going on goal. But it also enabled Krajisnik to take control of the zone.
Godoy loses it. It's a bad turnover again for Krajisnik, and a chance to break forward. Rolled in to the bottom right corner, and who is it again? Jordan Travers. Goal number 2 for him, and we're all tied at 2 apiece.
So we talked about those mistakes, not hurting yourself. Goals are going to be scored, but when you do it to yourself and you make those poor plays, it hurts just that much more. So now they've got 3 minutes until halftime. Krajisnik is leading the shot total. Let's see how they respond.
Immediately down low to Forbes. Forbes looking to roll it out, and here comes Travers again. Cutting inside, Jalea Moore sticks a foot in. Wins it back.
3-on-2 opportunity down into the corner. Great way for a counterattack, and Krajisnik backline assisting in the neutral zone.
Almazan, great feet to get through the pressure, and his pass off the boards just a little too short. Another pass forward. Travers, first time volley off the wall. Flicked forward. Space for Forbes. He holds it up. We'll roll it out to Cavino Caceres. Here's Caceres. Moving through 2 defenders. Couldn't find space. Travers tracking back. He's done the goal scoring for Baltimore, also doing the defending. Svetkovic for United. Up ahead. On the turn. Merker goes down and brings a guy down with him. And it's a foul right outside of the box. Another dangerous opportunity coming up for United Elite with just over 2 minutes to go in the half.
So where the 2-minute time period has hurt them in the past, now they have an opportunity to have the 2-minute time period be a solution to the issue of being tied going into halftime. Change the narrative going into the halftime locker room notes and discussions. You still have to address those self-inflicted wounds, but if you can hit a tally, that's going to be a completely different tone when you have those conversations.
Almazan's over it. Rafa Godoy to his right. It's laid off to Godoy. His shot, thunderous, but it's left of the goal. Almazan's rebound is wide as well. Headed away by Schnack. One back by Godoy. Lozada fires it. Oh, he almost had that top corner. Almazan couldn't get the rebound. It's out of play. They'll actually call it intentional, so it'll be right over the edge of the semicircle, outside of the box for Krajisnik. This is where Rafa Godoy has had a couple of chances go just wide to the left or the right. And Godoy going high and left again. And now here's some pace on the back end from Arsenal. Moving forward, Rafa Godoy does a good job to track it back and poke the ball away. Well, that was just some incredible speed there from the Arsenal striker. Number 4, Eric Laurent, just moving up ahead with so much speed.
That has to be a talking point.
Merker moves it in. There's Svetkovic looking for the deflection in front. Couldn't find it. Just missed wide and high.
So that's got to be a talking point in halftime. They have to discuss about the fact that Baltimore has some speedsters within their roster. And that's at least 4 times that they, off of rebounds off of the board, they have gotten burned where somebody's gotten into the backfield with no coverage between them and the goalie.
Headed forward. Back by Safoy. 1 minute to go in the half. We're all tied 2 apiece. Gleesman's held and he's dragged down. Excuse me, that's Almazan who got dragged down. No call. It's Watson. He'll get the return pass. Watson's got space. Right-footed effort. It's wide. The rebound just flicked high. Watson in the corner. Sandwiched by 2 defenders, and away with it is Krajisnik. Almazan going diagonal. Safoy lets it bounce in the corner, and there goes Merker. Applying pressure, Steve Merker. Getting help defensively. Gleesman's going to come at and challenge Safoy. Safoy bounces off him and advances forward. Joe Safoy bursting through space, and he'll hold it up. Go out to Watson. The left-footed Watson now to the right side. There's one off the back end, and Gleesman just has to poke it away for the final few seconds. We're going to head to half number 2, all tied at 2. What are your thoughts on the first half, Greg? A positive first half, but for Krajisnik, you feel like you fell a little flat there at the end.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they let up that second goal there, especially because it was a self-inflicted wound. It kind of puts a damper on a really competitive and equally played first half. It's really unfortunate, but knowing this coaching staff, they're going to talk about the different advancements and things. They're going to talk about the speed of Baltimore and talk about a few of those missed opportunities. Last couple of minutes of the game, that last huge push, 8 posts and 2 crossbars. I mean, these guys were firing that ball like crazy. So I'm looking forward to an exciting second half and seeing how Krajisnik comes out.
We'll step aside for halftime. When we return, it's quarter 3 and quarter number 4 from the Adirondack Bank Center. Baltimore and Krajisnik all tied up at 2 apiece. You're watching the MASL on YouTube. Back at the Adirondack Bank Center as we get set for our halftime recap. We're going to send it down right away to Phil Krucka, who's down at rinkside with Tyler Forbes. We're going to send it down to you, Phil.
Hello, Crush fans. Here we have Tyler Forbes, number 13. Tyler, what are your first thoughts of the first half?
I thought we went up nicely with that first goal. We were up 2-1 as well, and they've gotten some lucky breaks. They had one off a ricochet shot that they got a breakaway goal, and then another blocked one. So overall, I think we've had the better of play. I think we deserve to be up here. We just got to stick to the game plan and keep going at them, play together, work hard, both sides of the ball, transition quickly, and finish our chances. We've had a lot of shots, and keepers made a couple saves, but really we've been missing the net as well. So start getting those on frame, and we should come away here with a win. So.
Awesome. Now, one last question. What do you think you could do on the offense? What can you do to help out?
Yeah, I think a couple times ball's been played into me, and I haven't been able to hold it up as well. So I think hold it up, let those runners come off me, second forward, midfield guys, maybe find that trailing defender for a shot, and then just crash. We've had a lot of shots, a lot of opportunities. We just got to crash those and bury some. Got to get hungry in the second half. 2 goals isn't enough. So defensively, only giving up 2 is good, but we really need to put the ball in the back of the net. We should come away here with a good win for United Elite.
Awesome. Thank you, Tyler. And Krajisnik fans, we'll be right back shortly.
And we're back at halftime as we get set for half number 2. Arnav Pokhrel joined alongside Greg Fanning. And Greg, positive yes from Krajisnik. You're not down at this point like you were a couple of weeks ago to Rochester, but also some stuff that you really wish Krajisnik could clean up. It seems like every chance that Baltimore gets is because of a mistake that Krajisnik is making.
If they can take away those self-inflicted wounds, then this would be a completely different scenario that we're looking at. The 2 goals were because of mistakes. And, again, you're going to make mistakes on the field. Doesn't matter if you're a professional player or you're just starting out. You're going to make those mistakes, but you got to be able to minimize them, and you have to capitalize. The biggest thing that I'm looking for this half are the coach-player combinations of Svetkovic and Yatsishin. We really didn't talk about them much this first half. We didn't see a lot of output from them. Where are they? So let's see if they can get into it while the crowd gets riled up around here. Let's see if they can get involved, and let's see if they can drive some points home. Krajisnik needs this game to stay relevant and start that playoff push.
Julian Rodriguez in the net for Krajisnik. Steve Merker, Damon Almazan out in the field alongside Jorge Lozada Jr., Rafa Godoy, Ricky Orozco. Make up the players on the field right now. We'll see if anything changes in the closing seconds before we start half number 2. It's Baltimore who have the first kickoff of the half. And taking it is Michael Bernstein at the center. UCFC logo. We're inside the Adirondack Bank Center getting set for half number 2. Krajisnik 12 shots on goal, 2 goals. Baltimore 10 shots on goal, 2 goals. We're all tied up. Final 30 minutes to decide the winner of this one. Waiting for that final referee's whistle, and we're underway in the third. Immediately it's Safoy who goes long, and Rodriguez calmly collects.
Got the Ninja setting himself up in that deep offensive spot. There he's going to fight for that ball, and there he goes into the corner.
Merker into the corner trying to slam one in towards Almazan. Instead it bounces right back off of his shins. And here's Svetkovic. Svetkovic has been quiet today. He's got 2 goals and 3 assists all this season. He scored a game winner against Orlando in Krajisnik's first win of the MASL, first home win of the MASL season, I should say. Still searching for a home win after that one because they lost 2 straight to Rochester here.
They've had the beauty of being home for the majority of this season, which is great. I mean, look at Orlando. They don't have a home. So, now they need to start learning how to capitalizing with wins in front of the hometown crowd.
Safoy does well to work out of this Utica press. Thinking about those 2 Rochester losses as Baltimore contained possession over to Alejandro Sosa, who's made 10 saves today. But he turns it over. Couldn't find the pass forward into the attacking zone. Svetkovic battling for it. Won back by Almazan. Almazan plays in the summer for Chicago House AC in the NISA. As he flicks this one forward to Forbes. Forbes working and battling against Kofi Forkua, and Forkua comes away with it. Baltimore retained possession, cycle it down, and get a couple of line changes. On comes Alhagi Job. At center ice for the Arsenal. Center field, I should say. Got the ice covered up by the turf here at the Adirondack Bank Center. David Wright into Yatsishin. To the far side with Orozco.
Krajisnik training is set up. They're rotating their players, trying to draw and open up and stretch the defensive players for Baltimore. Unfortunately, that one goes out of bounds. But when you're rotating those players around, you want to see whether or not you can entice 2 of the opposition to go with one of the players, leaving somebody open. And then in a perfect world, you hit that person with the pass, and it creates a scoring opportunity. And Krajisnik is trying to generate some of those scoring opportunities early in this third quarter of play.
Ball works to Kofi Forkua. Forkua looking inside. It's cut out well by Rafa Godoy. Forbes goes to the near side, and David Wright down to Godoy. Couple of rotations. Lomelli makes his way up the boards as Godoy continues to hold possession for Krajisnik. Inside to Lomelli. Lomelli steps to his right, plays it to Gleesman. Gleesman back to Lomelli in the corner. Lomelli goes hard off the board, and it's cleared away by the Arsenal. Giving chase to it now is Jaylee Amore. Amore down low to Millie Nagash. Up to Amore. Moore played at Sussex County Community College as well as Herkimer Community College. So another player who played his collegiate ball, at least for a portion of college, in Central New York. As there's a turnover, and there's a hold. It's a blue card shown to Cavino Caceres as he held back his man on another breakaway. And there it is again. It's Krajisnik continuing to force their own mistakes as Cavino Caceres just grabs Joseph Foy by the arm to halt the counter.
Yeah, it's a self-inflicted wound here. We'll see how bad the wound is. But there is a positive to that play. He stopped the play before it got any worse, and before it became a breakaway on his goaltender. So there is a positive there, but now you got to play. You got to play for the penalty kill.
It was a decisive foul right before the attacking zone was gained by Baltimore. So just a blue card, no penalty shot for Baltimore, no yellow cards or reds for Cavino Caceres. A smart foul to take because you're the last defender.
Yep.
You got to stop the scoring opportunity.
Yeah, you can't let that shot go off. You can't let it continue to be a worse situation than it already is. You know, take your 2 minute break in the box, and your team lives on with a tie game for the time being.
Svetkovic giving chase to a long throw by Rodriguez as Krajisnik has killed off 60 seconds of the penalty.
And Krajisnik has the speed on the field right now, so Rodriguez goes and makes that throw and connects with one of the Krajisnik players. I mean, they're fast enough to get an on-man break and a shorthanded goal.
Here's Safoy. Baltimore work it around. It's calm right now from the Arsenal. 41 seconds left on the man-up advantage. Inside, cleared away by Gleesman. And out of play, it'll be Baltimore possession right on the far side, center boards.
And what a difference having Gleesman involved in this game and having him back after having some injuries and some tumultuous times. Like it's so nice to have him back, anchoring that defense in the back.
Back to Safoy. It was Safoy who was dragged down. That caused a penalty. There's a header. Chance right in front from Michael Bernstein, but he couldn't direct it towards the goal. He was wide open. Another block in front. Final few seconds of the penalty. And Krajisnik once again have killed off another penalty. They are 100% this season on the penalty kill. A chance right away. Deflects in front. And a lucky break for Krajisnik as Svetkovic comes away with possession. He chips it forward. A chance to break ahead. 2-on-2. Almazan on his left peg. What a save from Sosa. Got up and clawed it away. Krajisnik keep up the pressure.
Sosa did an amazing job getting up high on that shot and imposing his will to protect the goal there. That so far, that's the save of the game.
There's a shot. There's a goal. It's a hat trick. Jordan Travers continues to dominate in this one as he fires down in the bottom right corner, and Baltimore lead 3-2.
So you had the penalty kick, or the penalty kill, rather. The penalty kill. You had an opportunity to come down for Krajisnik, and Baltimore countered. So, now you're down 3-2. So it becomes a situation you're getting into the middle of the third quarter, and you got a quarter and a half. So now here comes the question. Who wants it more? who wants to come out and win it more. And right now, Baltimore is putting 2 and 2 together and getting the right answers.
Worked up ahead to right. Laid in front of Chance, and what a save again from Sosa. The rebound, it's trickled in. Steve Merker, an immediate response. And he'll go over and high-five Gordy Gerson, who's supporting him on the near side. Merker ties it right back up.
We call Merker the ninja for a reason. Nobody on him. The ball came out into open space. No defense whatsoever coming over to him. They forgot he was even on the field. Had no clue, and he buried it in the far corner. Such a great response to the initial shot, and he put it right back in.
Great precision from Steve Merker, 45 years old and still scoring goals in the MASL.
Great to see the UCFC players like Gordy staying after and supporting the MASL2 squad here. Big proponent to their success.
A couple of deflections, and Rodriguez will gather it comfortably in his hand. So Rodriguez's first game with Krajisnik. He's spent all the season, I should say, with Utica City. Made a couple of appearances in the MASL 1. A big one, he started his first MASL start earlier this season away at Tacoma. Now playing in the MASL 2 because of the injury to Davion Bailey. Robert Sams is the backup goalkeeper. He's played a majority of the minutes this season for Krajisnik, but struggled a little bit in that last outing against Rochester. Gave up 9 goals, didn't make a single save last time out for Robert Sams. So a little bit of rest here for Sams, not the worst thing in the world, continuing to develop. He trained a lot, did Sams, with the UCFC squad as UCFC was dealing with some goalkeeper injuries. As there's Gleesman, flicking it back to Lamelli. Now over to Svetkovic. Svetkovic playing some give and go. And now he's forced to go forward. Finds Almazan. Almazan, step over, lifts one towards Sosa, dribbling around a little bit. But eventually Sosa covers up. Tied at 3, 6.5 to go in quarter number 3. It's taking it back is Alhagi Joe. He's played in 3 games, scored 3 goals for this Baltimore side. And in 1 game, Jordan Travers has equaled him in terms of goal-scoring output at the top of the leaderboard now for Baltimore with his hat trick today.
So, Krajisnik, we talked about that, the ability to rotate players, see if you draw 2 of the opponents over to one of yours. And sure enough, the back-and-forth passing laterally on the pitch, back and forth, all of a sudden you had 3 players step to Dragan, and Dragan was able to find his teammate down in the bottom, generated that scoring opportunity with the shot where Sosa was under pressure. Krajisnik got down by 1. They came right back. They applied the pressure. They were able to execute. So now let's see how the second half of third quarter goes, because Krajisnik needs to keep their foot on the gas pedal. They really need to, in my opinion, they really need to have the lead going into the last quarter. You don't want to be down and you don't want to be tied because there's just too much pressure.
6:09 left in quarter number 3 as we step aside for a little bit. We'll be right back to action soon here from the Adirondack Bank Center. Back underway at the Adirondack Bank Center. Ball goes immediately down to Merker, who scored the equalizer for Krajisnik. And now it's worked around to Millie Nagash, who scored the opener for Krajisnik. Back to Godoy. Godoy, great diagonal ball forward. Looking for Merker. Merker's battling with the captain of Baltimore, Joe Safoy. But Safoy's able to hold it out, and Sosa with a long throw immediately down the other way. Jordan Travers, already 3 goals today. Krajisnik win possession. Merker holds up, pressure from Travers, and he'll play it back.
Playing that ball back enabled Krajisnik to be able to reset and get some fresh legs on the pitch as well. Good tactic by our ninja over there.
Ball works out. Ricky Orozco through contact. Couldn't hang on to it, and he drags his man down. That's Travers who went down hard. So it'll be a free kick upcoming for Baltimore in the defensive half. 5 minutes ago in quarter number 3 in a game that has got a couple of swings either way. Step overs.
Punch and counter punch.
Tyler Forbes comes away with the ball. Going the other way immediately to Millie Nagash. Through contact, and Nagash has stayed down. Looking to win it back. Wright does, but his pass to Forbes is well to the left of the Colgate University alum. This time he does find Forbes, and Forbes can move it forward. Immediate shot with the right foot from Forbes. Ambitious, and Sosa just watches it go wide of his goal. Sosa distributes again. That was Schnack who played the crossfield pass to Job. Job was looking for the return, and it's cut out well. 1-on-3 for Svetkovic. He's got to find help, and he's actually able to draw a foul as he turns around, looks for support, and feels the contact from Baltimore behind him. Run over the free kick. Here's a chance off the wall. First time shot deflected away off the foot, and the ball continues to pinball around down in the corner for Krajisnik. Deflected towards the middle. Chance to break away. 2-on-1 the other way. Forbes is hustling back. There's a great crossfield pass. There's a goal. Cameron Dawson is second of the season. And it's back to front counter action from Baltimore. What an exciting move from the away side as they went tic-tac-toe and into the back of the net.
Yeah, Baltimore was able to crisscross the field, use that diagonal run, and cash it in. And Krajisnik attempted the slide save, and ball was just already by him. So now we're back into punch, counter punch. Baltimore right now. We talked at the beginning in pregame. You didn't want to have to be multiple goals in a row. Krajisnik is now in that situation. Baltimore was in that situation, and they have capitalized, and they have answered very well. Now let's see how Krajisnik is able to handle this situation.
Baltimore moving forward again. Off the back wall, chance in front, it's off the post and out. Second chance opportunity, and Krajisnik step in. Axel Lamelli does well to defend and gain possession for Krajisnik. He plays it out wide. Yatsashin holds up. Lozada Jr. now over to Godoy. That one was close for Krajisnik.
That same shot ended up in the back of the net the previous time that it was hit. So, very lucky. They could have very well been down 5-3 in the back end of this third quarter.
Merker goes out. Almazan fires one. Deflected away by Travers. Well, Travers has just done it all. Block shots, goals.
Travers is having an all-star moment.
Almazan.
The one big difference that we're seeing right now, Krajisnik is not utilizing those cross plays. They're playing more of a direct frontage and direct power plays.
There's one from Almazan looking for Merker in the middle. And a chance to break forward again. As Baltimore hold possession now with Cameron Schnack. Over to Eric Laurent, the speedster. Now down to the corner. Defended by Gleesman. Great pass back from Baltimore, and there's an attempt that flashes wide of Rodriguez's goal. Sosa will come out and collect for Baltimore with 90 seconds left in the third. Safoy deflected away. Second chance for Baltimore. There's a foot in from Tyler Forbes as Safoy resets the Baltimore offense. Laurent now to the left and Travers. Back to Laurent at the point. Safoy holds on, finds Travers. Travers dribbles past a couple, goes sliding in, turns it over. With a minute left, here's Forbes. He just holds it up, goes out for a change. Svetkovic comes on. Forbes didn't go out for a change. Now David Wright makes his way on. Couldn't find Forbes again, but there's a pass to Safoy that had a chance. And now Gleesman will set up right outside. He fires with his left foot. There's a bicycle. Oh, it just flashes wide. Ricky Orozco in the right place at the right time. Had an opportunity as that one's booted well wide. And it's going to be a setup free kick right outside the top of the arc.
Last 30 seconds of the quarter. This is do or die for Krajisnik right now. They have to be able to quickly put this in the back of the net.
David Wright stands over it. Ball is deflected out of play as Ricky Orozco is just walking along the boards because he's an extra man on. He's got to get off. And he just exits the field of play. That's an interesting situation.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting conversation to have down there. The Baltimore bench is going absolutely berserk. Referees are going over to the referee table to have a conversation, and now you've got the captain of Baltimore going over along with Svetkovic to try and see what the discussion is. And there's the blue card.
It is a blue card. There are too many men on the field. So Krajisnik will have to set up the final 24 seconds plus the first minute and a half or so of the fourth. Down a player on the penalty kill. It was good effort from Orozco to leave the field. I mean, he jumped the barriers and got over with help from Gordy Gerson, but in the end, he was just on the field at the wrong time. Too many men for Krajisnik. And it came at such an important opportunity with a free kick right outside of the top of the box.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a substitution issue at the very beginning of the year. Krajisnik had some problems with some substitutions and things. And now there's still a lot of conversation going on over this extra man on the field call. Head coach for United Elite is now. The referee is motioning towards the bench here.
Someone's got to serve the penalty in the box for Krajisnik. Even though you've only got 4, someone's got to be in there for the 2-minute period.
And Coach Palkovich is extremely heated. He wants an explanation, and the referees are not. They're not entertaining it.
A high-intensity moment here as Orozco heads to the penalty box. Finally, someone makes way, and it is Krajisnik who will have to serve 2 minutes with a man down.
Well, and as you said, it was a pivotal moment because you go from 30 seconds to being able to go ahead and have a free kick right in the front. You have the deflection that goes out of bounds, and then unfortunately you have the penalty here. So the momentum has all moved. Krajisnik is able to keep possession, but Krajisnik they're down a player. So we'll see how they utilize the last 10 seconds here. I'm sure this conversation is not over between the referees and the head coaching staff of Krajisnik at this point.
Few seconds tick off the clock as the horn sounds, and Krajisnik down by 1. 4-3 Baltimore lead at the end of the third, and 1:36 left on the penalty kill for the home side, United Elite. Big fourth quarter coming up ahead. 15 minutes left to this one to decide a winner. Baltimore up by 1 from the Adirondack Bank Center. We'll be right back. You're watching MASL Soccer. We're back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Controversy at the end of the third quarter as Ricky Orozco is in the penalty box right now, serving a penalty for too many men on the field after he was caught out with being the sixth man, sixth attacker on a free kick opportunity. It was just a substitution miscue for United Elite. And now, out of the 15 minutes that are left in this game for United Elite to come back in, a minute 36 is going to be spent on the kill.
Yeah, and as we discussed before, we had our break in between quarters. We said that conversation between the head coaching staff and the referees wasn't over yet. Well, it certainly wasn't during the break, and I still don't think that they're on the same page as to what was going on there. But it's a done deal. They're not going to revert anything at this point. So now it's moving forward and seeing how you can bounce back and you can get into this fourth quarter and get the W. You got a minute and a half to kill on the penalty kill, and Krajisnik has shown their case and their ability to be able to generate opportunities a man down. And now it's go time. This is for your season right now. They cannot, in my opinion, they can't go down 3 games in a row.
Big step in from Rafa Godoy, and he just backheels it away. Kill a little bit more time off of the penalty. That sits at a minute and 5 seconds right now for Baltimore on the man advantage. Godoy gets in again, gets a deflection, lifted up, and it just hangs in for a moment before it bounces out of play, but no 3-line violation for Gleesman. That's important. Baltimore move forward again. First time effort, roof of the net. What a shot from Michael Bernstein, and on the power play, Baltimore make it 5-3.
Yeah, there's not much. There's some goals that you sit there and you say, gee, it's too bad that you didn't make that save. I don't know how you make that save. I really don't.
That was an absolute shot off of the foot of Michael Bernstein, his first goal of the season. And he absolutely roofed it. First time shot. The only positive for Krajisnik is it clears a penalty. You have 5 players now on the field for a longer extended period of time.
Yeah, you're not working with that man down situation for the full minute and a half. Gives you a little more time, playing at full song.
Just got to get one if you're Krajisnik, and you're right back in it. And then momentum shifts your way as here's Lozada. Works to Orozco. Out of the penalty box now. Lozada again has Rodriguez. Goes back to Orozco. Got to go forward if you're Krajisnik. 13.5 to go, and Lozada deflected. Laurent turns away. Lozada does well to win it back, and Rodriguez shouts for a handball. Krajisnik will just take possession instead. Long range effort. It's brought down by Forbes. He'll play it back. That's Gleesman looking forward. Excuse me, that's Svetkovic who launched it forward for Forbes. And Forbes almost got a touch on it.
Yeah, it's too bad Forbes didn't get that. It was a great ball from Svetkovic from the back. It went right through, and, you know, if Forbes put his foot on that ball and redirects that, you might have your fourth goal of the game for this United Elite Krajisnik team. There's
Almazan putting the moves. Chance in front. It's going to fall. There's a scissor kick. It's up over the bar. Second chance effort cleared away by the Arsenal. What a save from the Arsenal defense. Everyone getting involved at the back end for the away side.
Goaltender from Baltimore holding his shoulder after making that save, and now is flexing his arm. I'm sure somebody from Krajisnik has seen that. We'll see if they start firing the ball towards that side of his body to capitalize on anything that might be brewing there.
Here's a chance for Godoy, and he skied it, had time, and decided to go with the first choice effort. As there's a look at the play, Godoy went up, and then I think Sosa, when he went up and tapped it with his left hand, he landed on that right shoulder, and now he's holding it. He's the only goalkeeper on this roster, so if Baltimore are without him, someone from the field, someone in a field jersey is going to have to grab an extra attacker jersey and play in the net for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, you hope that he's okay. You hope that it's nothing serious and it's just maybe a jam or the way that he came down and hit the pitch and hit the turf. You hope he's good to go.
There's a foul called as Baltimore able to draw a foul, and
that's that retaliation, you know, hit me once, hit me twice, now I hit you back and you're the one that gets the penalty. See it time and time again in all kinds of different sports.
There it is at the back post, a chance for Baltimore. Now a chance for Krajisnik to break forward if they can find the right pass, looking for Millie Nagash. Has pace, and he wins possession for Krajisnik. Godoy, long-range effort, doesn't have anything. Nagash, back to Yatsishin. Yatsishin hasn't played too much today, haven't called his name out too much, but getting involved in a big moment like this in the fourth.
Yeah, he's played more in the second half, or at least it appears that he has played more in the second half, along with the same situation with David Wright and also with Svetkovic. You know, you see them playing a little bit more in the second half.
Step forward from Jalea Moore, but that leaves open a gap at the back. Here goes Watson. Has an assist to his name today. And he'll lift a shot in. It's deflected by Merker. 10.5 to go from the Adirondack Bank Center. Krajisnik need 2 to tie it. Nagash finds a diagonal pass to Merker. Sneaks past his defender, but then he's caught up at the boards in the corner. Off the wall. It's set in front. Everyone wants a intentional pass back. Instead, it's going forward the other way. Dawson cuts back. He's taken down, and possession with Millie Nagash of Krajisnik.
A lot of emotion going on right on the field right now. Between the pass back and then there was another play back here in the defensive end where the ball was stolen away. Baltimore thought that it was a trip and should have been a foul down back there. So these refs are certainly hearing it today, that's for sure.
Rodriguez gets involved in the attack. He's crossed the halfway line. Now a chance to break forward for Krajisnik, and there's a shot deflected away by Sosa. Krajisnik want to work quickly. Back to Rodriguez. Julian Rodriguez has David Wright to his right. Instead, he'll walk it up himself. He's not scared to shoot if he gets time and space, but instead he's looking for a pass. Finds one along the boards.
This is where all that futsal training comes in. Able to work within confined spaces and have ball control.
Rodriguez steps forward, left-footed effort. It's off the top of the glass. You're waiting for it. He was going to take it eventually, one of these times, and eventually he gets away with it.
Krajisnik needs to be very, very careful, because if he takes a shot, or any of these players take that hard of a shot, and it's a bigger rebound, obviously he's not in the goal. So they need to be able to get back and get control and possession of that ball very, very quickly.
Rodriguez quarterbacking Krajisnik for the final 8.5 minutes. Out to Lamelli. Axel Lamelli, poor pass. Empty net. Rifled towards, but it's well wide. And Rodriguez can step forward.
He brought that ball in, so that way they didn't have a 3-line violation on that strike. And it went wide. So this high press, high pressure formation, basically they're taking 6 people and putting it all the way into the offense, and now you got a breakaway.
Another breakaway for Baltimore. And there's Laurent, who taps it home. 6-3, Arsenal lead.
Body language for Krajisnik is not good right now. Baltimore has all of the momentum. Baltimore has worked for that, and they have definitely earned all of that momentum right now. So, they have all the answers.
Rodriguez was caught out. Palkovic walks off the bench, wants to talk to the referee. As we have a break in action, continuing to talk is Palkovic and the referee and Svetkovic alongside him.
Yeah, a lot of unhappy people with the way that a handful of calls have taken place throughout the process of this third quarter, big time.
7:52 is on the clock. Rafa Godoy and Svetkovic still having an animated conversation here near the Krajisnik bench as Palkovic walks back. There's the empty netter from Baltimore, and Eric Laurent's second goal of the season.
Yeah, Krajisnik is pulling out all the stops. They know how important this game is. They're trying to get the momentum in their favor, and it's so far it's just not going their way. So they've got a lot of work to do. They got 7 minutes and 52 seconds to do it. They're leading the shot count, but the problem is you don't win games by just winning the shot count. You win games by putting it in the back of the net. They haven't been able to finish. And one of the major issues is the fact that they are blasting the ball against Baltimore players. It's generating opportunities for Baltimore to return onto the field to the opposition back into Krajisnik defensive end. We tell all the youth players, unless you got a potato cannon, you're not putting the ball through somebody. So you got to find a way to get it around. They're not utilizing the boards as much as they have in previous games. So it starts to be a domino effect here a little bit. And, the proof is in the pudding. Look at the scoreboard.
Still in this media timeout, and well, before we step aside, Greg, I know you had something you wanted to plug, so I'll give you the floor here.
Well, on the youth side of things for different organizations here in the Mohawk Valley and in the area, youth players for the AYSO divisions, those that are thinking about getting into soccer, those that want to return to soccer from taking the wintertime off, that do not play year-round on either a travel club or a Sunday league for AYSO. The Whitestown ASO registrations are now currently open, accepting players from U8 boys and girls all the way up through the U12 divisions for boys and girls. So go to the Whitestown ASO website, register your kids, order your uniforms, and we'll see you all real soon in the springtime in April.
Turnover right in front. There's a shot fired from Gleesman, and it's just wide. Another big opportunity there for Krajisnik to step forward. Almazan back to Godoy. Almazan again. Godoy gets it back. Calling for Rodriguez to come forward, and Rodriguez takes his word, steps ahead. This is where Baltimore got the empty netter last time.
Baltimore setting up in a defensive formation, much like a penalty kill, even though you're not on the penalty play. But they're rotating. You got an open shot opportunity here from the cross.
Godoy fired one. Thunderous strike again. He's got so much power behind that left foot. And he'll get it back. Godoy's got someone in the corner if they can find him.
And Gleesman down in the corner. How much have we said Gleesman's name today? He has been all over the place. Unfortunately, his name isn't on the stat sheet for goal or assist, but boy, has he made a difference of being back on the field.
Gleesman's down. Krajisnik want the stoppage. He's grabbing his knee again. Same injury that happened a couple of weeks ago against Orlando. And they're going to call a trainer.
The trainers.
Gleesman just took a touch a little bit too long, went to chase it down, and then on the follow-through, contact right to that left leg of Gleesman.
Yeah, he's grabbing his ankle, so you hope it's not the knee. And now he's trying to walk it off, but he's shaking his head no. So we'll see what the trainer's able to do to assist him a little bit. He will have to come off of the field. Sometimes you can assess real quick on the field what's going on with the player, and then most times you're able to generate a much better diagnosis of issues once you return to the bench.
Jalia Moore steps on for Gleesman, who's injured. 6 minutes, 3-goal deficit for the home side, Krajisnik.
So Baltimore is setting up with their umbrella defense that they run during penalty kills. And all they're doing is they're trapping and they're crashing down on the ball carrier once they get into the deeper parts of the zone. Ball is received, and then you have 2 to 3 Baltimore players that come in and cut off all angles of passes and especially shots on goal.
Rodriguez steps forward again. Cross field to Almazan. Almazan, something's got to give, and Almazan trying to create some space for himself to shoot. Deflected away. That's a pass back to Rodriguez. He's going to have to give chase. He's chased hard off the boards to Jalia Moore. And a deflection goes into the netting.
So with that umbrella defense, they're going to have to start crossing the field again. They have to get Baltimore to have a mental lapse and move forward in bringing 2 players or 3 players to 1. Leaving somebody open and having that open shot on goal for them to have any chance of beating that umbrella defense right now.
Time starting to be a factor as Ricky Orozco chases hard. Finds a pass and eventually finds Rafa Godoy. Godoy, Rodriguez stepping up with him. 5 minutes to go, 3-goal deficit for the home side. Good pass from Rodriguez to Orozco inside. Off the wall, looking for a return to Orozco. Merker couldn't find it. Gleesman's back out there. Talk about battling Zach Gleesman. After going down hard, grabbing the ankle, this time he gets hit from the back in the head, it looks like.
Yeah, that was strike to head or strike to upper body.
Gleesman's getting battered. There's the blue card for the elbow to the head. And so now you can go 6-on-4 essentially if you bring out Rodriguez a little bit.
And now you got somebody that's going to be open. So they still have to be careful. They still have to be careful with that ball coming out, like what happened to score the 6th goal for Baltimore. But yeah, you said it best. You got a 6th attacker now, and there are only 4 Baltimore players.
And Baltimore had an extra player on the field. Krajisnik wanted to take it quickly to gain the extra man on the field penalty. Similar to what happened to Orozco in the earlier in the quarter, I should say. But they don't give it to him. So Baltimore get away with one there. First time effort from Forbes. It trickles out of the hands of Sosa before Sosa recovers. .434, 15 seconds killed off the penalty for Baltimore. Clock stopped.
Now, I'm sure that the coaches are going to want an explanation of the differential between the one that they were called on and the one that Baltimore was not called on. An extra man being on the field is an extra man being on the field, whether you're jumping into the stands to try and hide or you're running over to the bench real quick. It doesn't matter. You got an extra player on the field. So I'm sure that there's going to be a discussion of, please explain to me the differential between those two plays.
4:31 left in the game. Krajisnik down by 3. We'll step aside. You're watching MASL on YouTube. Back underway at the Adirondack Bank Center after the Baltimore timeout. 4:25 and counting to go as Sosa holds on to the ball. Launches it down. It's headed up and brought down by the Arsenal. Touched away by Forbes. David Wright recovers. Wright moves forward. He missed the last game against Rochester with a knee injury. Good to see David Wright back there as he gives to Godoy. Wright's open again. Minute 13 on the man-up advantage. Right down to the corner. He misplayed his pass. Second time misplayed again off the boards, and eventually just recycled out to Godoy. 3:50 and counting. 1 minute on the man-up advantage for Krajisnik. There's a shot. Godoy. It deflects off of Forbes. Deflects to Forbes, excuse me. Deflected off of Merker there in front as Godoy lines up another one. This time it'll be deflected by Baltimore. So Godoy steps ahead again.
Krajisnik doesn't have much time left in this penalty and this power play. They have to capitalize on this. They got 30 seconds left. Sosa's going to take his time trying to get the ball down. He's just going to go long and clear the zone.
Going all the way out the other way, and Rodriguez will gather it. 20 seconds left on the power play. Rodriguez not stepping as far forward as we're used to seeing when Krajisnik need a goal. As there's a shot parried away by Sosa. Good save again from Sosa, who's been on fire since about the midway point of the third quarter. Just been excellent, seeing everything really well. As the penalty clears, we're back to full strength between the two sides. Forbes, first time effort, again a save. The rebound turned in by Forbes. Goal number 2 for the Colgate University alum.
That's a great answer to try and get things going again for Krajisnik. Sosa was stopping absolutely everything, but when you have those rebounds, sometimes the secondary shot, that rebound shot comes back twice as fast as what the original one was. A lot of energy in that ball, but Sosa, even with that situation where he came crashing down on that shoulder, kudos to him because he's been lights out. It doesn't seem to be, whatever was going on there, he's shrugged off, and Baltimore is still in control here. But now you've got this energy. Instead of Baltimore trying to do the counterattack off of that goal, now Krajisnik is trying to use that as energy to generate more offense here.
Travers went down hard. Referees played advantage for Eric Laurent, but he couldn't do anything with the ball as it's trapped in the corner. And Almazan comes away with it. 2:12 to go. First time shot from Travers up in the netting. 2:09. Krajisnik needing 2 goals to tie things up and send it to overtime. And at this point, it's not a must-win game for Krajisnik, but next you look at the next matchup on March 3rd against Baltimore, and it becomes ever more important. if you don't come away with this one.
Yeah, they gotta sweep the board. If they come out of this game here without a win, if they're not able to complete the comeback, they have to they gotta sweep the board. And I mean, we know already 5-0. Rochester is Rochester. Rochester is leading the group there. They're leading the pace. So you gotta look at the other teams that were within the area that are going to impact that playoff. And you know, Rochester 5-0, Krajisnik with 2-4, and now all of a sudden you got Baltimore coming up. And here's the other problem: Krajisnik has played the most games out of all 4 of these teams. You have to control your own destiny, and right now they're not doing it. So you got 2-4. If you come out of here 2-5, Baltimore is at 2-2. Now all of a sudden you got a real big problem.
Next week it's Baltimore and Rochester in a back-to-back matchup, Friday, February 23rd, Saturday, February 24th at Total Sports Experience in Rochester.
So really, Krajisnik has got to figure this out. They got to figure it out real fast, and they have to get this fixed.
Next time we'll be live is on Sunday, March 3rd at 6:30 p.m. when Baltimore plays Krajisnik again, and then after that it's a doubleheader. Orlando comes to town on the 16th and 17th of March, and then the only other away trip for Krajisnik is an away trip to Rochester, across the I-90 going west for about 90 minutes, and you'll get to Rochester for a back-to-back series on March 22nd and March 23rd. So you'd like a win today. It's not a must-win, but then if you lose this one, every other game until that final Rochester series becomes a must-win for this Krajisnik side.
Absolutely, and folks, if you haven't purchased your tickets for the March 3rd game, or the Orlando series, tickets are on sale now. Everybody get your tickets, come out, support this team. They greatly appreciate the community involvement with everything that they do here.
Godoy was looking to the back post, and now here's a pass across Baltimore, but the feet get tangled up. Rodriguez makes a big save. Down with his hamstring, stopping the ball. 90 seconds, and blue card shown to Krajisnik, and that's a mood killer for Millie Nagash.
This is the most that we've seen of blue cards being issued, whether it be between these two opponents or in general throughout.
There's a look at Millie Nagash just retaliating again after that late swipe from Baltimore. You just can't do that if you're Millie Nagash with a minute and 20 seconds left, down by 2, needing 2 goals. And now you put Krajisnik on a man down opportunity.
Well, and it's just like the pushing and the shoving that was in the middle of the field earlier. It's always the retaliator that gets caught, and they're the ones that get the penalty.
Ball deflects out of play and into the stands. Ball finally returns to play. Rodriguez kicks it over to the near side, where it'll be Rafa Godoy to start action, and immediately pressure coming to Rodriguez. Baltimore's got a man up. They can step towards the ball really whenever they want.
They can either choose to just shut this down or and just ride out the last of the clock, or they can try and put another one up on the board if they wanted to. I mean, they're in complete control here. They've got a 2-goal lead, and all the pressure is on Krajisnik.
Sosa hits the scoreboard, and so a superstructure violation will head the other way for Krajisnik. Millie Nagash in the box for another minute 23. It'll hold out till the rest of the game. Krajisnik, you need a goal here from Rafa Godoy on the free kick. Low towards the corner, couldn't find an opening. Second chance for Godoy, deflected up, it trickles in, and it's a 1-goal game. 35 seconds left. Rafa Godoy gets a deflection to go his way.
No, we talked about those opportunities when you're down a man. You know, you just never know. Just because you're on the power play doesn't mean that the other team can't come back and put one in. So now you got 35 seconds left, and yeah, it's 35 seconds. But you know, we just saw one bounce in. You never know what's going to take place here. Krajisnik needs to play high press. They need to be high speed. Let's see what they can do here.
Merker loses it. Godoy recovers. Rafa Godoy running the floor. He turns it over. Merker battling back. Final 20 seconds. Rodriguez clears it ahead, looking for Forbes. Couldn't get there. Godoy, 15 to go. Turns it over. Opening up ahead for Baltimore. Merker wins it back. Rodriguez, you have to go if you're Julian Rodriguez. And he calls for a timeout. And now they're saying that Krajisnik already used the timeout. So again, the referees need to have a conversation.
So Baltimore thought that they had already used all their timeouts for the game, and apparently that was not accurate. So you got a timeout, 4.5 seconds to go. Last gasp and opportunity. And now there's another card that was issued to the captain.
Joseph Foy issued a card as he was talking to the referees, and now 4 seconds left. You got to get it forward and get a touch on it if you're Krajisnik.
This is going to be one of those bang-bang plays.
Maybe just get it up, see if Forbes can get down with a header, or Merker.
Well, this has been a lot closer of a game than what anybody thought it was going to be. You know, Baltimore coming in. But quite frankly, with the exception of the opener against Baltimore, their second match was a close one. So, you know, I mean, it shouldn't be a massive surprise. But Krajisnik had too many self-inflicted wounds. That's for sure. And they just put more time on the clock as well. They put an 8.6 up.
Yeah, the clock did continue to run a little bit after Rodriguez called for the timeout.
So that's going to give them even more of an opportunity here. It's going to be less of a Hail Mary, if you will. And, you know, they'll be able to set this up a little bit better. You still can't lollygag around with ball, but you still have an opportunity to try and solve this and send this puppy into overtime.
Rodriguez has to throw it down because as soon as he touches the ball, the clock starts. You don't want to waste time getting the ball to your feet. There is Rodriguez going to the extra man, and Godoy chipped in, back post, final second. One last opportunity. No, the horn sounds, and Baltimore win. 6-5 the final score. It got close in the end, but Baltimore able to outlast thanks to a great third quarter from the Arsenal. 6-5 the final. Greg, I mean, 3 losses in a row for Krajisnik. You meet up with Baltimore again in a couple of weeks. What has to change for the home side?
Well, you got to minimize your mistakes, and you know, a couple of these penalties that we had today showcase the frustration of this young team. But Baltimore was able to capitalize on what they needed to do. There was no doubt about it. And Krajisnik will need to minimize the mistakes. They're going to have to play clean, and you know, they're going to have to win out. Basically, they're going to have to win out. They control their own destiny. But now their destiny is a much rougher road than if they would have been able to come in and handle business against Baltimore.
That'll do it from the Adirondack Bank Center. For Joel Beltheiser, our producer, all of our camera crew, Greg Fanning beside me, I'm Arnav Pokhrel. I want to thank you for listening to MASL2 Soccer here on the United Elite Krajisnik YouTube channel. Have a great night. Have a great week. We'll see you in a couple of weeks when Baltimore returns on March 3rd. Thank you, everyone.